Hi, this is Sweet June coming back at you. It's raining today, so I gotta get ready to go to the gym. I'm trying to wait till it start raining before I go in. Uh, it's hot. You know how it be raining and it's hot, and you roll up your windows because you don't want rain. You don't want your car to be rained on. You don't want rain to come in your car, but you roll your windows up, but it's still hot. I got the AC turned. I got the car turned off, so I don't have the AC going. So I'm hot. So I let down my back windows. So I don't care if the back seats get wet because nobody's sitting. I had nobody sitting in the back seat. So anyway, I let that breeze come through the back seat. But anyway, um, hit that like button and subscribe button if you're new to my channel. I want to vent. I got some things that I have to get off my chest. Um, I want to talk about these employers. These employers out here. That's what I want to talk about. And I'm just really upset because if you guys have seen the video that I did about my son, I'm not going to say too much, but I said my son broke his foot. That video. I might put the link to that video in the description box. I did a video talking about my son broke his foot. He was sitting at work. In this case, you guys new to my channel and you missed that video, or you haven't had a chance to see it, I'll make a long story short. Long story short, he was sitting on his job on his break with his phone. And the break tables were outside. They were outside on the I don't want to call it a porch, but they were outside of the building. The break tables, because it was summertime. It was summertime, so they had the break tables outside. So he's sitting outside at the break table on his phone on his break time. All of a sudden, a piece of the ceiling of the awning, or the thing above the break table, the roof above the break table. A piece of that is a concrete part. It was a piece of concrete. A piece of that breaks off, all out the blue, and it fell on him. By the grace of God, it didn't hit his head. If the piece of concrete had hit his head, he would have had a severe head injury. So I just thank God. I think somebody else did get hit. It hit his. He tried to get up and run. In his attempts to try to get up and run, he didn't make it in time, and the concrete fell on his foot and broke his foot. His foot got broken in multiple places. His foot got broken in 4 or 5 places. It literally crushed his foot. So my son had to go have foot surgery. He had to go have foot surgery. They literally had to reconstruct his foot and put brackets. They had to take brackets and fuse his bones together in his foot. He was in a lot of pain. He was in lots of pain. He was in so much pain. Just imagine your bones in your foot being crushed. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. Any bone in your body. Just imagine any bone in your body being crushed. Any bones that you have in your body, just imagine them being crushed. This was his bones in his foot was literally crushed. The doctor said, the surgeon said, he said the only time you see injuries like this is in car accidents and athletes. He said car accidents, athletes is the only time you see injuries like this. And I thank God, he had a blessed surgeon. Oh, he had a blessed surgeon, and his surgeon did a blessed job of fusing them, getting them. They put brackets. They showed on the X-ray that they put the brackets in there, and they literally had to fuse his bones. And it was a long recovery process. My son is still trying to recover from it. He's still trying to recover from this. It's not over. he still have to recover. He's still having problems with his foot. He says he can't wear a regular shoe. He still has to wear this boot that they gave him to wear. So he goes back to work. They had him on workman's comp, put him on workman's comp, and he tried to see if he could sue the company, but they kept telling him, every lawyer that he contacted kept telling him that he had to sue the original owners of the building. Didn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what they kept telling him. He called 3 different lawyers. And so they winded up paying him workman's comp. To make a long story short, workman's comp, and they paid for his medical bills to get the surgery done and everything. So they took care of all that, and they paid him workman's comp. The problem with the workman's comp is he wasn't getting nowhere near. He's only getting a quarter of what he was making when he was working. So he was quite frustrated about that. For a month, I mean, he had to keep his foot elevated and stuff like that. He still is recovering. And so he finally, I think 2 months after the surgery, 3 months, was this a month ago? Was this a month ago? He went to the doctor and asked the doctor for a release, a slip to go back to work. But they released him to go back to work, but with restrictions. Because he still had restrictions because he's still having issues with his foot. So he went back to work, and sometimes he wore his boot to work because he says he can't wear a regular shoe. They said that they said they were going to set up some physical therapy for him. He's going to get ready to go through the physical therapy. Okay, he went back to work. My son went back to work a month. Guess what happened? They fired him. He got fired. They fired him. I'm not going to say too much. I want to put the company on blast. That's what I want to do. But I'm not going to do that right now because we got some things in the works. But that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. They fired him. I'm going to put them on blast. Not right now. I'm gonna put that company on full blast. And I typically don't make it a practice of bashing or trashing companies. Well, first of all, this ain't my employer. I ain't never worked for him. I typically don't make it a practice of doing that. But this company, oh yeah, I'm gonna put them on blast. Not right now. I'm not gonna say too much right now. But I'm really upset. I knew they was going to do that. That was in my spirit. I knew they was going to do that to my son. I knew they were going to fire him. They're crooked as a barrel of rattlesnakes. But they not getting away with nothing. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go into too much. But anyway, the purpose of my video is I got to get some stuff off my chest. The purpose of this video is I want to talk about how employers do not care about employees. They don't care about employees. They only care about the bottom line. I was thinking about this the other day with my past employer. I'm not going to bash them, but I'm not going to go into too much about that. But I was thinking about how they didn't care about me in my situation. See, and that's why I tell you guys I did a video in one of my other videos. I said, you got to take care of your body. You need to take care of your body. Your health needs to come first before your job. And I know everybody needs to make money. I get it. Oh, I get it. I know everybody needs to make money. Times are hard. And a lot of people gotta earn a living, take care of themselves, take care of their families. I get it. I get it. And it's a hard call to make. It really is. But our wealth is in our health. And you got to put your body first. You got to care about you. You got to care about your body. Because these employers don't care about you. I'm telling you, none of them do. Even the ones that are supposed to be in the business of caring about people. The ones, they're the most grimiest of all. The ones that are in the business of taking care of people don't care about people, their employees. You are in the business to take care of people. You are in the business to care about people. That's what I meant to say. But you don't care about people. To me, they're the most grimiest of all. Of all of them. You are in the business to care about people. But you don't care about your employees? None of these people, it's just like all the people that got fired because they refused to take that shot. Now, I know I can't go into too much about that. But that's wrong. That's dirty and that's wrong. And most of these people were frontline workers. They were frontline workers. And they put their life on the line to save lives. And then they leave, they get fired from their job. Because they refuse to put something in their body that they're not sure about. That's everybody's right. Nobody should be forced to put anything in their body that they're not comfortable with. That they don't feel secure and safe. That's everybody's personal choice. And nobody should be forced to do that. And nobody should have to choose between their job and getting something forced into their body that they're not comfortable with. Nobody should have to make a decision like that. But a lot of these employers have put people in that position to where they have to choose. And that's not okay. And a lot of these jobs were in the healthcare industry. I know they said 500, is it United Airline employees got canned because they didn't want to take the jab. This is happening all over the country. A lot of this is happening in the healthcare field. This is happening all over the country. I'm not trying to go into too much about that because I'm not trying to get in trouble, but this is happening all over the country. These employers don't care about you. They only care about their money. That's all they care about. All they care about is the bottom line. They don't care about you. So you need to care about you. You need to care about you. You need to care about your health. You need to care about your body. Don't let these employers run you in the ground and work you to death, because there's a lot of factories where I live, and they want to work people 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts. Who can work like that on a continual basis? Eventually, your body's going to shut down. And then when your body shuts down, your immune system, what happens is your immune system gets extremely low. It happened to me. when you work like that, your immune system goes so low, it gets so low, you're more susceptible to illnesses. And what happens is when they get sick and they go to call off, the employer act like they don't want to let them off work. Or they get a point. If it's some jobs, it's a point system. Most factories, it's a point system. You get a point for calling it. What kind of hot mess is that? You gonna run me in the ground and work me to death. And then when I get sick, and I have to call into work, you mean to tell me you don't want to let me off work? Or you going to penalize me for calling in sick after you done worked me 7 days, 12-hour shifts for I don't know how long? And now my body has literally broken down? Because our bodies talk to us. My body has broken down to the point where my immune system is so low. Now I'm sick. Now I got to call in to work. And you don't want to give me time off of work, or you want to penalize me for calling in sick. What kind of hot mess is that? And that's how a lot of these companies operate. They don't care about you. Because they figure they get rid of you, they'll get somebody else in there. They don't care. So that's the lesson that I got from this situation with I'm not gonna trash him, but that's the lesson that I got. But I gotta keep it 100. Is that, June, you gotta put your health first. Your health has to come first before a job. You can never, ever, ever put anybody's job over your health. Your health has to come first. And it was a situation to where I had to take a leap of faith. But I was not aware how bad I was. If I was aware of that, I would have done things differently. They didn't care. They didn't care. All these employers care about is their money. Even if they're ones that's in the business of taking care of people, they're supposed to care about people. They don't even care. They don't care if you a good worker, you a hard worker, you come to work, you don't hardly call in. They don't care. You would think they would have more of an appreciation for their hard workers. People don't hardly come in, and when they come to work, they do their job and they work hard. You would think that they would have more of an appreciation for those workers, because good help is hard to find. They don't care. They don't care about you. So you gotta care about you. You gotta care about you, because they don't care. I mean, one day I'd like to have my own business. I like to start my own business so I don't have to work for nobody no more. Hopefully I won't have to. But I would like to start my own business one day and have my own. But if I ever in a position where I have employees, where I have to hire employees, I'm not gonna treat my employees like that. I'm not gonna treat my people like that. I'm not gonna treat my people that way. I am not gonna treat them that way. I'm not gonna be like that. Because It's just greed. I understand that employees got to keep them. They got to keep things going. They got to keep the business running. I get that. I get it from a business perspective. I understand that. I get it. But you got to understand, if it wasn't for your employees, you wouldn't have a business. If it wasn't for your employees, you would not have a business. And that goes for all of them. This employee shortage should be telling them something. That should be a wake-up call for all these employers. People don't have to work for your company. If it wasn't for your employees, you would not have a business. You would not be in business if it wasn't for your employees. For the exception of maybe the hospital or something like that. Because they got to have somebody in there, But they need employees to keep the hospital going. Our healthcare workers all of our workers are important. They say that the truck drivers, is the truck driver shortage. They ain't treating them right. They ain't doing them right. They're striking at these factories because they ain't not treating the employees right. They ain't doing the employees right. These employers don't care. They don't care. And they getting worse and worse. And they know you need a job and they know you need to work, but you don't have to work for their particular company. You can go work for somebody else. And good help is hard to find. You would think that they would value their good employees. They don't. Because the way these people did my son is just dirty. I had to get that off my chest. I'm sorry, but I had to get that off my chest. I got to vent. And I got to get it off my chest. They did him dirty, 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 dirty. And it ain't right. I'm like, Jehovah, that's not right. I said, that's not right. That's dirty. That's okay. We got some things going. We have some things in the works. That's all I'm going to say. That's dirty. And I will be putting them on blast. I'm not going to say nothing right now. I'm going to put them on blast. I sure am. I don't know if this is a nationwide company, but, well, These people are dirty. I knew they was going to do my son like that. I knew it. I knew they was going to do him like that. I knew that they was going to do him like that. It's dirty. Dirty, 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 dirty. And my son is still suffering. He's still having problems with his foot. And he got to endure this. He might have problems for the rest of his life with this foot. When he get my age, he may have severe arthritis in it and might not be able to stand on it. That's serious. My son is only 21 years old. He hasn't even worked long enough to even pay into the Social Security system. He's only 21 years old. And that's the way these people do him. If it wasn't for that situation happening, he would not be in this situation with his foot. He would not be in that situation. I just can't believe how cutthroat. They made up some excuse, some old lame excuse why they fired him. They're trying to get off the hook is what they're trying to do. Just gonna throw him away like he's yesterday's trash. After your jacked up, faulty building that you're not Making sure it's maintained. I don't know why it would go on the original owners. They don't own the building anymore. It's your responsibility to make sure the building is upkeep and maintenance. That's your responsibility. Now, that's what the other lawyers told him before this happened. It's dirty. And I knew that was what they was going to do. It was in my spirit. I knew that was what they was going to do. These people are dirty. These employers don't care. So that's what that's the message that I want to drive close to home. Take care of your body. Take care of you. Put you first. Make you a priority over anybody's job. Because they'll get rid of you and then next day they'll have somebody else in your position. They don't care. If you die before your obituary is even printed, they'll have somebody in your job before your obituary is even printed out. They will have somebody else in your position. These employers don't care, and they'll go about their business. You got to put yourself first. You got to put yourself first. And sometimes it requires stepping out on faith. Sometimes stepping out on faith is necessary. Putting our trust and faith in God. And I know that's not easy for people to do. But sometimes it's necessary. It's required. Sometimes you have to. And He will make a way. Sometimes we just have to put our total trust in Him. But our wealth is in our health. And you have to put your health first. That has to come first before a job. And I know it's a hard call to make because everybody need to make money so they can take care of their families. Ain't nothing free. It's a hard call to make. But if you are not healthy, you can't work. You can't work if you're not healthy. If you're not good, then you can't work. And you're not going to be able to earn any money anyway. So you might as well take care of yourself and put yourself a priority. You might as well. Because if you can't work, you ain't going to be able to make no money no way. So don't let these employers run your body in the ground. Don't let them do it. Make you a priority. Don't let them do that to you. If the job get to be too much and they're working you too many hours and days, and you got to move on. Especially with us older people, with us people that's getting older. We can't even we can't be working like that. When you get to a particular age, you can't work like that. You can't. You can't work that way. Our body changes as we get older. We can't do the things, and it's hard on a young person. Because when I worked at this county nursing home, they used to mandate us for 16-hour shifts. And that stuff was hard on me. And I was doing that stuff when I was pregnant with my youngest son. When I was pregnant with my youngest son, I was pulling 16-hour shifts. Yes, I was doing that when I was pregnant with my youngest son. It was rough. And then have to jump up the next day and come back to work after going home getting a few hours sleep. It was rough. I should have just let them lay me off and collected unemployment. That's what I should have did. But I wasn't thinking. But that's what I should have. I should have let them lay me off and collected my unemployment from them. That's what I should have that's what I should have did. But hindsight is 20/20. Because ain't no way a pregnant woman should be working those 16-hour shifts and I had to have a note saying that I could work without restrictions, and I was working in the kitchen. Although I say they were going to lay me off, I'm in there putting up stock and lifting all these heavy boxes. Pregnant. That's probably why I'm messed up now. I had no business doing that kind of lifting and being pregnant. And I should have let them lay me off. And I could have filed unemployment on them and collected my little unemployment checks and set my little pregnant butt at home. But like I said, I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking at the time. Thank God, by the grace of God, I had a healthy pregnancy. I had a healthy pregnancy. When I was pregnant with my youngest son, I had a healthy pregnancy. So thank God that I had a strong uterus. Thank God. By the grace of God, I had a strong uterus. And it was an exceptionally healthy pregnancy. So I was blessed in that area. So I didn't have, by the grace of God, I didn't have any complications as a result of all that heavy lifting and working all these hours. I mean, the 16-hour shifts wasn't all the time, but no pregnant woman should be working no 16-hour shifts. I don't care. A pregnant woman shouldn't even be working 12-hour shifts. Not a pregnant woman. But I think the worst that happened to me is that my ankle swelled up. I think that was the worst that happened to me, and my ankle swelled up real bad. But if hindsight is 2020, it's 2020. Don't let these employers do that to you. You pregnant ladies, don't be doing all that heavy lifting on these jobs. Don't do it. You will pay for it later on down the road. And I think that's part of the reason why my back is messed up now. Because I did it when I was pregnant with my oldest son, too. Yes, I did it when I was pregnant with him, too. And I had to take off in my 7th month. I had to take an early maternity leave. I had to take off in my 7th month of pregnancy. Because I was having excruciating back pain. Oh, yeah. Back issues go way back. My back issues go way back. It just done got worse. It just got worse. Back issues go way back. But don't do that. You pregnant ladies, do not work like that. Don't do that. Don't do all these heavy lifting. Don't work all these long hours. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It's better to just go off and go and get on the system until you have the baby. I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't recommend. Pregnant women should not be doing strenuous work at all, period. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for the baby. These employers don't care. This video's a little long. About to sign off in a minute. But I just needed to vent. I just needed to vent. I just need to get that off my chest. I'm just really, really pissed off. If these people did my son like this, they did him dirty. I just feel so bad. I hate that my son has to go through this. I really do. It just breaks my heart to see him going through that. He is still a young man yet. My son is still a young man yet. He's 21 years old. He's still young yet. This foot can give him problems for the rest of his life. He get to be my age. He could have all kind of arthritis in it. And they just throw him away like he's yesterday's trash. Just dirty down to the core. They dirty. But the Bible says, whatever a man shall reap, he shall sow. That's all I'm going to say about that. Everybody know that scripture. Greed will get you nowhere. Being greedy will get you nowhere. You never win when you play dirty. When you play dirty, you never win. And I'm going to end on that note. When you play dirty, you don't win. And you reap what you sow. Give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe and share notification bell. Peace and love. I'm out.